What is up, Pokemon Go family? It is your boy, TheGoulGuy, and we are back with a whole nother video, and this is a update for Pokemon Go. Breaking news. Apparently, Niantic has sold Pokemon Go to a new company, the company called, let me get it right, Scopely. Scopely is the company that has bought Pokemon Go for $3.5 million. That is insane. Now, what does that mean for Pokemon Go as a whole? Honestly, we do not know. But essentially, I'm just going to read this article from Forbes here and then just give my general opinion at the very end of the video. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of other YouTube content creators that are essentially making videos on this. I just wanted to, obviously it's such a big thing, obviously, in Pokemon Go. I cannot not talk about this. So anyways, let's get into it. I'm just going to skip ahead here, but basically Niantic, the publisher of Pokemon Go, has sold the game to a new company, a Saudi-owned Scopely. That's going to be Niantic was so much easier to to say. Now we got Scopely. Anyway, we got Scopely divorcing itself far and away its most successful product in its lifespan, in addition to other parts of its gaming division. The price was $3.5 billion, also includes Pikmin Bloom, Monster Hunter Now, and no doubt Niantic will be celebrating that new cash influx. But anyway, Scopely is the publisher of another Go-based game, Monopoly Go. So essentially, this company, I've been reading up on this one. Apparently, this company essentially have other games that they have published as well that are doing pretty well. So kind of gives me somewhat hope that essentially maybe they'll be able to, do even better than Niantic, possibly, than Niantic would, because Niantic essentially never really did that many, like, in terms of mobile games. Pokemon Go kind of was like the main one they kind of like jumped off from. So it kind of gives me hope, maybe with like some people that, are essentially, more experts in the mobile gaming sphere, maybe essentially they can help out with the game development. But at the same time, people are also concerned because Monopoly Go is a very, let's just say, advertisement heavy video game. Like, when you're playing it, essentially advertisements are going to be on the very side of the screen, ready for you to like just click and pay for something. So essentially, a lot of people in my community and every other person's community, I'm pretty sure, are very cautious because Pokemon Go as a whole is already something very pay to win heavy. So essentially, with this new company, we're very cautious on essentially, is this going to be even more monetized, which I can't even imagine how that would go. There's already people, I'm pretty sure, crashing out, probably even people in these comments when I release this video, that's basically just going to be saying, hey, it's time to put up the cape, Pokemon Go is dead, what have you. Now, I don't want to be doom and gloom just yet. I want to see how this all like pans out and anything like that. Hopefully, I want to hope things get better with Pokemon Go, but that's basically everybody else's sentiment here. Well, anyway, let me continue on. Which you may not have heard of, but Monopoly Go, which you may have not heard of, but you would be out of step with the general public if so, because the game is the fastest mobile title to hit $3 billion in revenue worldwide. Yeah, I remember when Monopoly Go came out. Me personally, I never played, but I know friends that have, and they were addicted. They were stuck on that phone playing Monopoly. I'm like, dang, you don't even play Monopoly in real life. You out here playing it on the mobile app. That is just insane. But they definitely know how to make a game very successful. We can just only hope that they don't mess up Pokemon Go. I have heard from a lot of other people say, the fact that they bought it for $3.5 billion, how can they possibly just ruin the game to the point where it's no longer lucrative? Like, why would you pay $3.5 billion just for that company to just not make the money back and then some, you know? So hopefully with that sentiment, I would hope that that would be, you know, a really good thing. On top of that, you also got to think that they are partnered up with the, you know, the people that own Nintendo, that own Pokemon, you know? So essentially, like with the Pokemon company, I really doubt that they would, you know, have this new company take over and like ruin their game for them, you know? But you know, you just never know. I'm just throwing that out there. I just want to be very positive about it, but you just don't know. So right here it says, so what's changing with Pokemon Go? Because this was literally announced today alongside no specific concrete changes to the game, we don't know, and I don't know either. But we do have information that could tell us the direction things may be heading. The current development team working on Pokemon Go is moving over to Scopely as part of the sale. So looks like the same team that have been working on Pokemon Go are still going to be working on Pokemon Go. Essentially, it's just going to be run by a different head company. Instead of Niantic, it's going to be Scopely, which is good. So the same people that, you know, essentially have been working on the game essentially are still working on the game, and hopefully with better insight, or this could essentially just be more of the same potentially, which at that point we get no change, and possibly things get more expensive. Look, I don't want, as I said, I do not want to be negative in this video. I'm just speaking theories out here, you know, speaking theories. But you would think with the same development team, nothing would gradually change for the bad, essentially, in the Pokemon Go app. But you know, obviously, could be wrong. But hopefully that does not happen, and possibly, just possibly, Pokemon Go could get even better, you know? But anyway, so it's not like it's a total clean house. All new devs are being brought in that don't know the game. So essentially, there are going to be more devs working with the previous developers. So essentially, we're going to have more people working on the game. That has to be good, right? Now, they don't know much on the game and how the game is developed, which obviously they'll have to learn and everything like that, but maybe they can give some more brand new insight. That's a possibility. Additionally, Pokemon is still owned by the Pokemon Company, you know, so that's why I said, like, if they're still owned by the Pokemon Company, they can't really just tank the whole game. Like, you know, they have to make some kind of profit. Notoriously protective over their IPs, and any significant changes to the flagship game like this would have to run through them. As Scopely, I will get that name eventually, will not have free reign to do whatever they want with the game. So they can't ruin the game without the Pokemon Company essentially, you know, being in the insight, knowing exactly what's going on. So, you know, essentially they can't just ruin the game. You know, they can't just like be throwing monetization at you, flashing it every little second. All right. Well, I would hope not. You know, I would think the Pokemon Go company, or the Pokemon Company, would know what's best for their IP. But there are risks with being linked to Scopely now. So this is the risk here. Monopoly Go and other Scopely games like Marvel Strike Force have made so much money in part because of the breadth of monetization. So yes, this is a company known for their monetization. So that is what most players, especially in the Pokemon Go space, are concerned about. And players are worried that they may be increased when the game moves over to try with more attempts to extract money from fans. So essentially, yeah, that is the concern, that they're gonna just like, we already get monetized, we already pay in Pokemon Go. How much more are they gonna have us pay in Pokemon Go? That is the question. But we will have to see. It's not impossible. Scopely just wants to print money like it has been, but it almost seems more likely they'll want to extract even more out of it. So we'll have to see. After all, they just paid a giant chunk of their Go revenue to buy it, after all. So, you know, that's the thing. They could essentially just try to make back the money that they spent on the game. So like, you know, they spent 3.5 billion. They could be, you know, essentially trying to over monetize Pokemon Go to make back that money. That is a possibility as well. So I don't want to discredit that, and I don't want to discredit, you know, the fact that, you know, hey, they spent this much money, they don't want people just leaving the game automatically, but we'll just have to see. These are all theories. But yeah, fans are understandably on edge with this development, as change is often bad, and a change like this, they're going to want some reassurance that Go and its monetization are not about to dramatically overhaul. Yeah, there's a lot of people already on edge, basically thinking, I'm out of here as soon as I see some monetization. Some people are even out of there before they even before like as soon as Niantic's out, they're out. Like before they even see any changes, they're done, because they don't trust this other company, which is crazy. I just personally want to see what they're going to end up doing. Okay, all right. So there's somewhat of an update here. Here's a new statement from Ed Wu, head of Pokemon Go, on specific items with the sale. So Scopely expressed a deep admiration for this community and our team. I have every belief Pokemon Go will further flourish as a part of Scopely, not only into its second decade, but for many more years to come, under the mission of discovering Pokemon in the real world and inspiring people to explore together. Our new partnership, along with our decade-long partnership with the Pokemon Company, means we can maintain this long-term focus. Scopely fully believes in our mission and ongoing goal to create the best Pokemon Go experience possible. Their focus will be to support our team, providing resources to continue delivering the gameplay you all know and love. Okay, all right. So this is coming from the head of Pokemon Go. So this is Ed Wu, head of Pokemon Go, basically saying that Scopely is just there to, you know, heavily reinforce what they already have and make the Pokemon Go experience even better. That's just one thing we're just gonna have to see. But yeah, other than that, they pretty much just they just talk about like other things in terms of like the Pokemon Go community and stuff like that, the Pokemon Go team, everything. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, it looks like the Pokemon Go company themselves, well, not the Pokemon Go, the head of Pokemon Go essentially wants everything to stay exactly what it is. If anything, improve on what it is from what they're saying. Now, of course, everybody's going to have their opinion on that. There's going to be some people on this side that are like, nah. They're going to like basically rake our pockets. They're going to take all the money we have just so we can play Pokemon Go. I seen somebody even post like a picture of basically a spin stop and like basically monetization on a spin stop. Basically, like you got to spend like $5, $10 just to spin a stop for like, you know, that's insane. If that's in the game, yeah, you can count me out too. But yeah, you got people thinking the game's just going to be a monetization zone. Basically, you're not going to be able to do anything, catch even Pokemon in the wild for free no more. And that's fair based off of obviously their track record. And then you got other people that essentially are a little bit more on the positive side. Maybe this could change for the better. Maybe, you know, since they've already have other developed video games possibly that are doing well, maybe it can make the game actually, you know, run better, essentially do a lot better in terms of just like even adding more mechanics that essentially we've never had. It's a possibility. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Did not want this video to be any longer than what it is. Just want to give you guys the update on what's going on with Pokemon Go. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are down below. We won't know the impact of this probably for a while, so I'll give you guys an update if I find out anything. But yeah, until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.